Or is that just me?
No, I hear the staticky sort of sound.
I don't hear anything.
When you do that, it makes a noise. That right there. Whatever chord that is.
Red button?
Yep, red button.
Wait.
Can you,
My SD card.
can you make the picture bigger for me or no? I don't know. What? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Oh. Hello?
Hello? ABCDEFG?
Oh, yeah. It was gone. Whatever you did, it went away.
Yeah, I hit mute accidentally.
Oh, so it's yours. It's from your side.
What?
That staticky sound. No, but Tiffany hit mute and it was gone.
So
And then when
watch.
she came
I'm
back.
going to hit mute. Ready?
Yeah.
I bought a brand new aux cord, dude.
So we'll look at it on Monday. Don't worry about it. Okay. So welcome to Take It or Leave It. I am one of your meteorically capable hosts. My name is Meredith Masony.
Hi, I'm your other host, Tiffany Jenkins, also known as America's Next Top Model. This podcast will discuss all things marriage, motherhood, and everything in between. Please remember, we're not professionals at anything you may actually need, so any advice we give you, you can take
or leave because it might be crap. On today's episode of Take It or Leave It, I figured we could talk about Sophia taking her driver's test on Friday. How much
she was already driving.
She has her learner's permit, but her official license, her appointment is Friday morning.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about how much it costs to insure a 16-year-old female driver. Also, I don't know if it's beating a dead horse at this point because I don't think it's been out on the podcast yet, but the $200 mom is still going.
No, it's not.
It is.
I saw you clap back. Well, you want to talk about it later?
We can. I'm just saying I cannot believe that it's still going. And then I thought we could do a little marriage segment on 10 ways to build trust in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that those were some good topics that we could do. So I didn't know if you wanted to catch up first, then we can go into topics. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Okay. I don't really have too much going on in my life.
So your week was smooth.
Yeah, so far it's been smooth. I don't have the kids this week, so I've been doing mostly housework and working online. I've also been prioritizing self-care. So I gave myself a face mask and painted my tootsies yesterday. Good balance of trying to get the home in order just so that when the kids come next week, it can be trashed again. Pretty much.
It can be trashed again very soon. Well, that's how that goes, right?
I leave town next week to go. I have a speaking engagement, which is really cool because I've already been here and they asked me to come back.
Oh, where are you going?
We're going to cut that, Phil.
Cut what?
Cut what? Meredith's question, because I have no clue.
Oh, you don't know where you're going?
I don't.
Phil, we're going to have to cut that out.
I want to say I'm going to Choctaw. Is that a place or is that a Tim McGraw song?
Is that is it the same place that you went where you took you did the Instagram stories of you by like the little creek and the pretty foliage.
Oh no, that was Vail, Colorado.
Oh, that was so pretty.
Oh my goodness, I stumbled upon a wonderland.
Yeah. Okay. So not that same place. All right. Well,
Yeah, it's a different place, but I'm just so grateful every time somebody wants me to come speak. I made a little post online the other day letting people know, kind of like, hey, just so you know, this is the thing I do.
Yeah. Well,
Because I found that's what I like doing. So maybe if I promote it a little bit more, I'll get a little bit more opportunities to do it more.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that putting it out into the world is like basically planting the seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to grow it.
It always feels so weird. I deleted it off Instagram because I got self-conscious again about self-promoting, but I left it up on Facebook. I don't know why. My brain's weird. I just don't know what feels right and what doesn't for me. And I don't know until after I post.
So, and I don't know if you've thought much about this, but oh, hold on. Let me try and pull it up really quick. Here it is. So, I don't know how to say it properly.
You don't know how to say a few things properly.
Nothing, mostly. Dialectical
behavioral therapy?
Yeah. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
DBT. So, I started doing a ton of research on it.
Oh, good. That's really good.
And it is treatment that has been used for all sorts of different things: substance abuse, eating disorders, bipolar, major depression. Like, it's mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
DBT is a certain type of therapy. And I had read quite a bit about it. But I actually reached out to my therapist and was like, would you recommend this for me? What are your thoughts? And she was like, I've been wanting to ask you if you wanted to start doing that in our solo sessions, but I wasn't sure. And so I've kind of just kept it to myself until I thought you might be ready. And I was like,
hell yeah.
Nancy, don't hold out on me. Do you have more tricks in your bag? Like, can you fix this? So we're going to start trying that in solo sessions. So I thought that was kind of exciting. Isn't it sad, I guess, when you get to a point where you're like, what new things can we try in therapy to see if...
No, I just bought a $40 DBT workbook off Amazon.
And that's the thing about DBT is it's very workbook task oriented. And I think that's what got me excited about it, was like, I get a workbook. Like, it was very exciting. So that's, this week we've been run ragged per the usual, spring basketball practices. Brian got a new bike. The day after Brian got a new bike, Brian got a flat tire on that bike. I had to go back out to the store to get bike tubes. Sophia's retainer got left on her nightstand next to her curling iron.
No.
Yeah. She melted that son of a bitch.
Oh, damn. That sucks, dude.
So she just got the retainer. What? Why did
you
think
shit.
She needed a new retainer?
Her husband just came in and said, I didn't know that.
So...
Tell him he needs a WD-40 that haunted house has.
Yeah, your chair, your haunted chair. Tiffany said, stop doing that with your haunted chair. So I had to take her back to the orthodontist. Like, she just got her braces off a couple months ago. And retainers are $250 a piece. And so I go in and they're like, look, the bottom one is still fine, but the top one needs to be remade. And the dentist was like, but I like you guys, so I'm going to give you a discount. And I wanted to be like, okay, you don't like us. You like that I have had 2 kids in braces in this office for the last 3 years.
You're keeping the lights on. I was like,
I appreciate it, but what's the actual discount? Like, are we talking like, oh, I'll give you 6%? But he actually gave me a new top and a new bottom as a backup for $150.
Nice.
So that was a little bit easier to swallow. That's what she said. But like it just doesn't stop, like it just doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't stop.
Girl, I had a really bad mental health regression this past weekend.
This weekend, when the
Mm-hmm.
kids were home,
Yeah,
what happened?
they wanted to ride bikes, dude. And I usually like try to redirect because I know that them riding bikes outside is a huge trigger for my OCD. This is just my truth. I'm just sharing my truth. But I went through exposure therapy for it and it really, really, really helped. So I was like, let me see if I can cope with it now better now that I have these tools in my toolbox. And I, in fact, did not cope with it better. I'll say, I guess, better as in like I let my kids ride around the neighborhood by themselves for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I sat out at the end of the driveway, but they were like, "Can we ride around the neighborhood?" It took a lot, and finally, I was like, "Yes." But the whole time they were out of my sight, I envisioned horrible, intrusive thoughts. And then when they were in my vision and a car would be coming around, I would just panic on, more so than a normal person should panic. Most people would be like, car, but I would see my kids physically getting injured.
Yeah.
Like it was so crazy. So I ended up getting really emotional and had to go inside. And I was like, damn, dude, I got to start going back to therapy.
If specifically exposure therapy?
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah. Okay.
For this anyway, for this specific thing, because my kids had more fun than they've had in years at my house, riding bikes, being free. I let them make little picnics and take them to the lake where there might be alligators. And they were gone out of my sight for like 20 minutes at a time. And it was really a practice in like fear, managing my fear. And I'm not going to say I failed because I really held out, but inside my adrenaline, my freaking central nervous system was shot. And they're just riding bikes. They're just riding bikes. But to me, they're playing Frogger on a busy interstate highway.
Yeah.
So that's something I got to work on. And especially because there was 4 kids this time.
Oh, they all went together collectively.
Yeah, they were all riding bikes together. And it was like, oh my goodness gracious. So much death everywhere.
Oh my God.
Like that's what my brain does.
Yeah. No, yeah, I understand that. It's a lot. But you do
I think
will you go back to the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can tell that it worked. I see evidence of it every day. My kids get to do stuff that they never in a million years would have been able to do before. But this specific thing. So the thing is, maybe I am kind of doing exposure therapy already, like by having them do it. And it's just me trying to adjust to that being okay. Like I'm uncomfortable as hell to the point where I have to go inside even. But maybe the more I expose myself to it, maybe if I do some worry scripts on it, it'll get better. I feel like most parents, if their kids are like, "Can I go ride bikes?" They're like, "Yeah, go have fun." But me, I'm like, I plan their funerals.
So could you try, since when you have all the kids together like that and you get overwhelmed, and you've gone public with your boyfriend, right? Like we don't have to cut this out, or do we have to cut this out?
No, everybody knows I have a boyfriend.
Okay, my only question is he there while the bike riding is going on?
Yes.
So can he, when in that moment of overwhelm, can you just go inside, have him there, and then could you sit and maybe talk yourself through the fact that somebody is watching? Yes, they may be out of his sight, but you can collect yourself for a minute, talk yourself through it, and then go back outside because you know that you have him sort of overseeing.
Yeah.
Did that make you feel better?
Well, he was gone for a lot of it because he was taking my sister somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, but maybe next time then try it that way so you feel like you have a little bit of a
safety net.
A safety net. Try it that way so you don't feel like because you did it all alone. Maybe just have him there a couple of times for that to kind of see how that goes, and then because then you at least know, like, yes, I've gone inside, but there is a watchful eye that's paying attention, and I can go back out at any time to check in and kind of see how that makes you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. And I think that's what I'll do next time. But it's so wild how different our brains are, how different everybody's brains are. It's just so interesting to me. And
I get it though, like because on Saturday or Sunday morning, must have been Sunday morning, Dave was like, "I'm going to the driving range," and I said, "Okay." And it was like at 7:30 in the morning. He kisses me goodbye. He leaves at 9:30. I wake up and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, he's still not home." So I walk out. I go into the garage. The golf cart's there. I'm like, "Oh, that's weird. Golf cart's here. That means he's back from the driving range, but I don't see him anywhere." I call his phone. His phone is at the house. He's nowhere to be found. So I'm like, where the hell did he go? Then I go outside. My car is gone. So I'm like, okay, this is really weird. My car is gone. He didn't come. If he came home, he didn't tell me he was going somewhere else. I have no way of getting a hold of him. Where did he go? And that snowballed into he's gotten into a car crash. I'm going to have to plan this funeral. He never told me if he wanted to be cremated. I have to sign up for Facebook dating. How am I going to live?
Wait.
And all of this goes on. And then an hour later, he walks in the door. Oh, I also post this on the internet so people know how crazy I am. And he walks in the door and I'm like, "Where were you?" And he was like, "I was at the driving range. I told you that." And I was like, "The golf cart is here." He's like, "Yeah, but the golf cart was dead. I had to charge the battery. So I just took your car." And I was like, "Oh."
Did you not notice? Oh, you did notice your car was gone.
My car was gone, but I was like, he never takes my car to the driving range. But I didn't even think about the fact that the golf cart had died.
Right.
So my brain, just like yours, goes straight to this really dark place.
Yep.
But the whole time I was doing the things that Nancy was telling me to do. She was like, ground yourself, pick an object in the room, think about that object, bring your heart rate down, talk through the logical things that are happening right now. Dave ran in, didn't realize he forgot his phone, ran back out to run an errand. Dave did that, so I had to talk myself through logical things instead of illogical things that could have happened.
It's good that you remembered to do that in the moment.
And when he got home,
whooped his ass.
I didn't yell. I was just like, "Where were you?" And then he explained it and I was like, "Oh, that makes total normal person sense." And so we didn't fight about it or anything like that, but it was in that moment made me feel
right,
like untethered, like floating around like Wilson in the ocean, bobbing up and down.
Yep.
Wilson. But
then he showed up. And you're like, damn.
But it's hard for people who don't, as Dave said the other day, pole vault to conclusions. We don't just jump to conclusions. We pole vault.
I said that the other day.
Oh, you said it. Okay.
Yeah.
You said it. So, because it's like we don't just jump to conclusions. We pole vault to those conclusions, and we make sure that we win the gold medal.
Literally.
In that sport. So,
but yeah, dude, I'm sitting out front on my driveway and people will be I'm like, slow down. There's a neighborhood. God damn. Your parents ain't raised you right. Like I get it. I've never gotten anything more. Now I'm like, I get genuinely rageful when I see people speeding while my kids are on bikes. And they might not be anyway.
They're going 3 miles an hour and you're like, what do you think this is? The Daytona 500? They're creeping by.
Slow down. It's a turtle. I'm like, whoa, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I'm going to work on it.
Yeah, we're always
What is your
working.
tattoos? I know you've talked about it, but I don't know anything about it.
Oh, it just says never say never.
Aww. Is that from?
It's a song, so just from a song. But it's something that I think is...
The Fray.
Yeah, it's from The Fray. So, but it's also like the second you say never, I feel like it always bites you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a good reminder to like, don't be nevering, because the second you start nevering, you know, the nevering is going to be all up in your business.
Okay, what a weird way to put that. For sure, though.
Well, you see people like, my kids would never. Oh, they're going to never.
They're gonna never so hard.
So hard. Or my wife would never, or my husband would never, or my, whatever would never. Oh yeah, they'll never. All up in your face. That's what they're gonna never. So it's just a reminder as well to myself, like, you just never say never. Just don't do it, because
I love it.
Anything. So yeah, so let's start with Sophia taking her driver test. So we did a driving school for her to take lessons. So you buy like hours, right? And they take them and they, go over like the driving test and all this stuff. And she fought us. She was like, I don't need driving lessons. And it's like, okay, but you don't have a license. So you need to learn how to drive. So I feel like it's a responsible thing to do. And she's like, I'm a fantastic driver. And I'm like, no, you're not. After 20, at this point, 30 years, I've been driving for 30 years. I'm not a fantastic driver.
That's so true.
So it's like, no, I think you're going to take these lessons. So the other night, she's like, okay, I want you to take me driving, but you're not allowed to talk. And I was like, why can't I talk? And she's like, I want to pretend like I'm alone in the car. And then after we've done the whole driving, when I stop the car, you're allowed to tell me what I do wrong. I said, okay, but what if what you're going to do wrong is going to kill us? Like, can I say something at that point? And she's like, no, you have to be quiet. So we go out. She does the whole thing. I'm quiet.
Because she knows you, dude. That's why she said that. She knows you.
So I'm quiet the whole time. And she stops the car. And I was like, if this had been your driver's test, you would have had 2 demerits. Would you like to know what they were? And she's like, yeah. I said, do you want to guess first? Because I think it would be best if you think you did something, let's go that route. You tell me what you think you did, and I'll tell you if it was if it were those things. She goes, okay. She goes, I rolled through that stop sign. I go, yes, you did. Yes, you did. It would not be considered a full stop. At that stop sign, you need to count to 3, do some Mississippis, and then you can go through. And also make sure you're checking the crosswalks, because at one of the crosswalks, she did not notice a person getting ready to walk their dogs through it. And she turned through the crosswalk, and there was a pedestrian, which has the right of way.
Yeah.
Now, the guy stood there and held his dogs because he saw that she was going to go through it. But I was like, you have to be paying attention for people, especially you're in a residential neighborhood. And then the second one was, and I don't know if they ding them on this, but I feel like they do, is wonky accelerating, like going too fast out of, like, from a stop sign or something. Like, her acceleration was very wonky.
Okay, wonky acceleration to me is.
Should she take the test in my car? Would you rather she take it in the truck? I don't know if they ding them for that, but it's yeah. So I think it's the car. But it's, anyway, it's one of those things where I was just like, I don't know if they ding you for this, and I'd like you to be smoother with your transition. But I don't know. And so then she went and she had a 2-hour driving lesson yesterday. And she takes her test tomorrow morning. So hopefully she passes. But do you know that it's $4,000 a year to insure a 16-year-old female driver on our insurance?
That's a lot.
$3,000 a year. 3,000. Dave said $3,000 a year. Matthias was 4. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
So Matthias was more than Sophia?
I guess, are boys more than girls?
I thought girls
boys
were
are more than girls.
Wait, weren't we talking about this?
I thought it was girls were more than boys, but I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
So it's boys are more than girls, apparently. Oh, because boys like to show off and drive fast.
Which I just thought about what it would be like to be in the passenger seat while Chloe's in the front seat driving. It turns to me and says, "You can't say a word while I do this.
Yeah.
You have to be silent."
Think about the amount of exposure therapy you're going to need when your kids get a license.
Listen to me right now. At first I'm like, good for Sophia having boundaries and knowing that that's what she needs in this moment. But then I'm like, wait a damn minute. I would fail that test so bad if I was you. I'm proud of you for remaining quiet and respecting that.
Well, she definitely has gotten much better from when she got her permit a year ago. She has been driving quite a bit over the year, like to get her prepared and ready. But it's still, and I let her drive all the way out on the highway. Like I let her drive when we take her to basketball practice, which is a 30-minute drive, and she drives and she does fine. I guess I'm okay because for whatever reason in my head, I'm like, it's okay because I'm in the car with her. Like I could do something if something happened. It will be a different story next week when she's like, I want to take the car and go up to Starbucks. Because I'm not going to be in the car. So we did let her know that for the next several months, she won't be going anywhere like outside of the neighborhood solo.
Right. Okay.
For a while, because it's just, she's still not ready. She thinks she's ready, but she's not.
I don't even think anything exists outside of your neighborhood. You live in a magical neighborhood.
It is a great neighborhood because we do have a Publix and we've got a Chinese restaurant and an ice cream shop. So we really do have everything you could possibly need.
Nails.
Like
it's like a weird, like if there's a zombie apocalypse,
this is the place to come.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Is to your neighborhood. It has everything.
Yeah. So that's the big thing that's going on right now is the driver's test and getting that done, and our weekdays and weekends are consumed with spring basketball right now and all sorts of stuff. This weekend I am leaving to go to my grandfather's funeral. So I'll get to see you on Monday, which is nice.
Yes. Sorry about your grandfather.
Yeah, he was 91. He lived a wonderful life. He and my grandmother were married for 71 years. And the hard part is really what my parents and their siblings have to deal with now, which is telling her every day that he's passed away.
I know, I can't.
Because she doesn't remember.
I wonder if it gets to a point where you just say he's at the store.
I don't know like what the best response is.
Right. Do you traumatize them over and over again, or do you just interesting? I'm sure there's an answer. There has
to be, right? Like I feel like you could do some research on this. You could speak to a therapist who deals with people who have dementia or Alzheimer's or any, like there has to be a better way to do it than, because what they started to do like the first week was they said he went to the doctors and then the doctor said he had to stay at the hospital. And then they were like, he passed away. And then, my grandmother would cry. And then later on that day, she'd be like, where's Joe? And then it starts again. And then later on, it's, where's your father? And then it's, so it's like, now she's in full-time, since he passed away, she's in full-time, they call it memory care, which is you have a nurse 24 hours a day at the nursing home. So somebody sits with her for a 12-hour shift, and then they switch for a 12-hour shift. But it's also instructing those nurses what to say so that she doesn't have a panic attack if she wakes up in the middle of the night and she's asking where he is, right?
It's so hard. It's so sad.
Sad. So it's the whole thing, that part is what I feel like that's the part that is really difficult because my grandfather isn't in pain anymore. He's passed on.
Mm-hmm.
But, continuing to tell this woman that the person she's spent the last 70 plus years with is not there. And she doesn't remember, like she remembers her kids, but not like any of the grandkids or anything like that. So it's a very small circle of people that she remembers.
So sad.
So anyway, that's the hard part about that is you forget we get older, so does everybody else. And that's a tough spot. But anyway, yeah. So this $200 mom thing still has some legs, which kills me. I don't get it.
I can't, dude. I saw it was like a news source,
Yes.
like one that it was Scary Mommy, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw that they posted it, and I'm like, wow, the nerve. And then I saw your clap back in the comments, and I was like, hell yeah, because I had screenshot it and been like, look at these traitor assholes who use us when they need good friggin' articles and then betray us when they get the salacious ones.
Well, come on now. You don't even reach out. Scary Mommy's news publication has covered my shit for the past 10 years.
Yep.
You don't reach out and say, would you like to comment on this or talk about it? Because their article was wrong. They went along with the other 106 people who made videos and reposts about mine or whatever you call them, stitches or whatever. And they said that she was out of state, this, that, and the other thing, that amount of money was to cover every meal, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you didn't ask for facts. You just took the false information that's out on the internet and printed it as fact.
I'd call them out and be like, this is clearly not a credible news source. Fuck these people.
What the only thing that really ticked me off about the whole thing was people in the comments referring to me as Ruby Frankie.
I know you got to be careful about saying that because if people know that's going to piss you off, they're going to keep saying it.
I get it. But like the I don't know if it was Hulu or Netflix. One of them just put out another documentary about them with unseen footage that they took when they arrested her. And I mean, the woman is a felony child abuser. And we're talking about a situation where I gave my kid $200 for money for a trip where the parents of the birthday girl took them out and fed them the majority of the meals, and the $200 was for a meal here and there and a t-shirt.
In my opinion, everybody else are the ones that look stupid. In my opinion, it just goes to show how quickly somebody will latch on to any information that they hear, regurgitate it as if it's facts for the sole purpose of collecting money and views. That's all these people were doing. They were trying to report on something to be relevant and be a part of the clout, and they were wrong. And it just shows like how easy it is for the masses to friggin' all jump on the bandwagon of hating when they don't actually know or care to find out the facts. That's what that said to me. It was so evident that everybody was idiots.
Well, and we were together when this was going down, so you saw it. But like, I just kept saying, this is why I don't like TikTok. It's so fast and so quick to take a part or a piece of something, stitch it into whatever you're going to say, and then make up shit on the back end of it.
I haven't even posted on TikTok since all this happened because it just pisses me off.
There's no context. It's just, oh yeah, such and such, this woman, da 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 da, and then they just run with it, and it's like and then the one guy goes he was commenting, he's like, it's your fault for people thinking she was in Los Angeles because your post said you were in Los Angeles, and I was like, I didn't post I was in Los Angeles. If for some reason on TikTok it showed me being in Los Angeles, that's because there's some default something and it pops up that way. Like I wasn't in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that would happen. But like, so what if it does? You're going to assume then I sent my kid to Los Angeles or I live in, and then they're like, well, she lives in LA. She has money. I'm like, I don't live in LA. Like, you're just making shit up.
That's what I mean. They look stupid. They're so stupid. And it
So
pisses
anyway.
me off. I had to block some people because these other moms who are in our demographic who make similar videos trying to make people feel better by laughing and stuff were so quick to turn around and judge and jump on that bandwagon. I was like, you're gross. I think it's so gross. Like, there's so much shit that I could do that I don't do because it feels gross to me. Like, I don't know, as a creator.
So it continues to live on. The search is still there. It so stupid.
What if I make a video saying I gave my daughter 50 cents to go off to college? Do you think it would help or make it worse? They think I was making fun of you.
Well, and the whole point of the video was they made it to be that I didn't give my kid enough money. But the point of the video was I gave my kid cash and she used the emergency credit card first.
100%.
That was the point of the video.
Right.
That she wouldn't take the cash that was given on hand and she used the credit card for quote unquote food, which she was like, well, you're supposed to pay for my food. And it's like, that's what the $200 was for.
Right.
That credit card is like, I've run out of the $200. I need more money. Okay, you have the credit card.
Right.
So to me, it was like, that was the point of the video, which was completely, went over
everybody.
And the majority of these were 18-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 20-year-olds, like, so whatever. So, all right. So I think it just really got to me when I saw that Scary Mommy published and didn't even reach out.
I know. Well,
that really was like okay.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
That's fine. So let's talk about building trust in a relationship.
That's exciting.
It's essential for long-term connection and emotional security. Here are 10 trust-building exercises for couples to strengthen your trust bond. Okay, I had not heard about this book before. Or maybe it's not even a book. You can just Google it. But there's apparently 36 questions. It's called the 36 questions exercise, where you answer deep and meaningful questions together to help increase vulnerability and emotional intimacy. You can Google it by Googling the 36 questions that lead to love. They're developed by a psychologist, and you can learn more about your partner's fears, dreams, and values by going through and answering each of these 36 questions.
Oh, I'm going to write that down.
So you, with having a relatively new relationship, these are going to probably be questions that you haven't entertained with him yet.
I don't know, because I forced him to play Let's Get Deep with me. Well, that sounds...
Okay.
There is a game called Let's Get Deep, and it's where you ask deep questions. So I used to force him to do that with me on our FaceTime calls.
Okay, well, now you have a different one that you can try, and then you can report back to us and let us know if that game or these questions were helpful in
I'll do it tonight.
Oh, okay. Do it tonight. We can talk about it next week.
Then I'll ask him the questions at some point, too.
Okay.
This
one kind of makes, I don't know, doing a trust fall.
No way, bitch. No way. That's on there.
It says it's a classic for a reason. One partner stands behind the other while they fall backwards, trusting their partner to catch them. It's a physical representation of emotional trust and reliability.
Yeah, right. My boyfriend tried to crack my back the other day and almost ended up at the hospital. There's no way.
I would want to catch Dave, but I don't know if he literally fell onto me if I wouldn't just fall and hit the ground too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's asking a lot.
I feel like that's a joke.
It's like, here. It's number 2.
It sounds like a joke. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I couldn't.
What if you fell on somebody and you just crushed them to the ground? Like, that's not sending a good message about your marriage or your relationship.
Yeah. And what if you're a bigger person?
I just was like, I don't love this one.
Yeah, that's
in
weird.
terms of Like, I'm not going to recommend you go and do this just in case, especially at our age. Like, you'll come out with a broken hip.
Yeah, I don't take any chances anymore.
You'll need physical therapy.
Yeah.
Dave has a bad back, a bad knee. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I would drop him too. I'd be like, no, I'm going to catch you. And then we would both be on the floor. I'd have
Mm-hmm.
a broken ankle. He'd need another knee surgery. I do not need to hit my deductible like that. Okay. The blindfolded obstacle course. Set up a small obstacle course at home and have one partner wear a blindfold while the other guides them through using only verbal instructions. This reinforces communication and trust in guidance.
Meredith, who the fuck is going to clean that up?
Who's going to clean that up? I know.
Would you ever do that?
It sounds like something that would be. It definitely sounds like something that would make you work at communication because you would have to guide this person through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does sound like a bit of a mess.
I'd be down. I'd be down to try it.
But I think
Just sounds like a lot of work.
it would be some prep, some setup, but it would really, really work at your communication if you had to like maneuver them around like couches and tables and to not knock your shit over and break it.
No, because the first time I hit my shin, you're dead to me. Our relationship is over. I trusted you,
Oh.
and you rammed my chin into the coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
We're done.
Okay. How do you feel about this one? Share one vulnerability a day. Take turns sharing one fear, insecurity, or hurt daily. Being open about your weaknesses helps build emotional trust and makes it easier to rely on one another.
Love, 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 love it.
So what if though I feel like I would be bad at that because I would say the same one over and over again.
Would you?
I probably. I don't know. I'd have to really be paying attention to what I'm doing with that.
No,
'Cause
I
could
love
get-
the idea of talking about fears and
Yeah.
vulnerabilities, like digging past the surface level and getting
Mhm.
down to the deep shit. That's where I thrive.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's where you find actual connection.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay at the surface level, you won't connect.
Right, exactly. I like to go deep.
Okay, that you've said that now like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
In a very sexual manner.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I've been doing a lot of thinking about pegging.
What?
What?
Did you just say that out loud?
I was just kidding. Kind of. No, I'm just kidding. I've never done it. Should we cut that?
No.
Okay.
Don't. I mean, we can talk about this a little more off air.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, it's a thing that happens.
It is.
And I am intrigued.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay.
Damn it. This is going to be on the internet forever, Meredith. God damn it. Why do I do this? This is the shit. I'm going to be laying awake tonight in my bed. Like, why the fuck did I say that?
Well, first of all,
God, I'm the worst.
It was amazing. And I'm so glad you said it.
You're such an asshole.
Second of all, I really hope this happens.
Pegging?
I want to hear about it. Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm going to have any luck.
What?
Never say never. Never say never.
Never say never. All right, number 5. It says, I've got your back list. Each partner writes down 5 ways they will always support the other, whether it's standing up for them in public, believing in their dreams, or providing comfort during tough times. You read them aloud to each other to affirm your commitment to one another.
It's cute. It's like vows on a Wednesday. I like that.
Yeah, I got your back list. I will do this, that, the other. This one I don't think would be possible, but I like the idea of it. In theory, I just don't think in practice it would work.
Okay.
Number 6 is switch roles for the day. For one day, you swap responsibilities, whether it's handling household chores, managing finances, or taking care of the kids. This builds appreciation and trust in the other's contributions. I can't do the stuff Dave does. Girls. I can't do the
Yes, you can.
finances.
You could if you had to.
I don't think so. I can't add or subtract or divide.
Yeah, for a day though. It's just for one day.
It's for one day.
Yeah. And I don't think he could do the shit you do. You know what I mean? That's what makes it that's what makes you have a new appreciation for the person.
Yeah, like I don't think I could get up at 6 a.m., go run a linen route, go to the laundromat, deal with those customers and people, come home, take all these meetings on marketing calls, do all the finances. Now, I like
Gross.
laundry and dishes and creating content and doing my thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but Meredith, there's more to you than those things also. Like I've seen the way that you work as far as entrepreneurial, I can't even say it, businesswoman, like you're really good. Speaking of, has that 911 dispatcher messaged us?
I don't think I'll check my email.
Okay, because I think that would be so interesting and I would really like to set that up. And if she's not going to do it, I would like to find someone else who will.
I will check my email and I will see. I don't remember her name. They were a lovely couple at one of our shows, and she was a 911 dispatcher, and she said she'd come on the podcast and tell us all of the 911 calls.
Because I have so many questions. And I was like, would you be willing? And she said, hell yes.
Okay, I'll look.
But I have like psychological questions. Like I don't need the details. I've heard way too many 911 calls, more than anybody probably should, by choice because I'm a psycho. But I'm curious about the psychology of it. I'm curious about like, do you follow up with people? Like, how do you sleep at night if there's like a call that gets disconnected and you never know it? Like, I have so many questions. I'll write them all down. I'm so excited. I'd be so excited.
Okay, I'm writing this down right now so that I can look up her email. Hold on, 911
That'd be awesome.
operator email. All right, I'll do that afterwards.
And like if we needed to like conceal the person's identity or not name names or whatever, we could totally do that. We could give you a mask to wear or something. But
yeah. All right, we're almost done with the list, so let's get through these.
Sorry.
You're good. 7, the silent eye contact challenge. Sit facing each other and maintain eye contact for 3 to 5 minutes without speaking. This simple but powerful exercise deepens emotional intimacy and reinforces your ability to peg the person.
What?
No, it doesn't say that.
I was like, Meredith, it's a sign. Oh my gosh.
It says it reinforces nonverbal trust.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I could not have done this with my ex-husband, but I definitely could with my current partner.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could never do it with Drew. It would be too awkward. We'd laugh. I'd know that he hated it. And so it would make me hate it. But I feel like my current boyfriend would love it. He'd be like, oh yeah, let's strengthen our bond. Like he loves, stuff like that.
Dave. Could you sit and do silent eye contact with me for 3 to 5 minutes without making any sound or words or noises? Just looking deep into my eyes.
I bet he could.
He said I wouldn't last 10 seconds.
You specifically or him?
No, me. He's saying he could do it. I couldn't.
Yeah, I think he could do it. I don't think you could. What about 8 inches?
See, so we were in an argument the other night, and he goes, I read online that if you get 8 inches away from the other person and you continue the argument, it'll immediately dissipate.
8 inches?
Yeah. So he literally was like this close to my face, and he continued saying what he was saying, and I couldn't keep it together. I just started laughing. Who? Yeah, I just couldn't.
Because I think if somebody tried to talk to me this close.
Yeah.
But if I was mad, I might hit him. I'm just kidding. That's the second thing I've joked about violence. And violence isn't funny. Domestic violence isn't funny. But seriously, my knee-jerk reaction if somebody got that close to my face would be to hit him.
No.
In the middle of an argument?
He did it the other night, and I couldn't keep it together. I laughed.
Can you just clarify? Is this you're having a conversation and then the person gets in your face?
No. It's like time out. time out of the argument, and then you get close together and you continue the argument.
Oh, that would be so stupid.
Yeah.
That would be
it
really.
just makes you like, oh my gosh, like you're all up in my space. Like I can smell your lunch on your
That's
breath.
funny. That's actually pretty funny. I think I would laugh. I just don't. Okay, I don't like people getting in my face when I'm angry.
No, it's definitely. I wouldn't do that secretly to somebody. Like it's a timeout. We're gonna now try this exercise.
All right.
Not like you just like are fighting with them and then you walk straight up to them and you get nose to nose.
Yeah, I would get real defensive. I feel like.
Yeah, both people have to be willing, or then I think it is assault.
Yeah, bitch. Okay, thank you. Because I was feeling crazy for a second.
No. All right. Digital detox and quality time. Set aside an evening without phones, social media, or distractions. It shows you prioritize and trust your person in order to be present.
100%. 100%. 100%.
9, create a shared bucket list. Write down your goals, dreams that you want to achieve together. Committing to future plans reinforces the idea that you long-term trust your partner and want to strengthen your connection.
Love it. Meredith
and then
I
10,
have a bucket list
this one
together.
you're going to love because we've actually talked about this on a different list. The appreciation jar. So every time your partner does something that you appreciated, you write it on a little sticky note, put it into the jar, and then in X amount of time, you go back and you sit together and you read the notes out of the jar. On why you appreciate them and they appreciate you. What if you went to do that and you only had notes for the other person and they didn't write a single thing about you?
I was just thinking you'd have to have 2 different colored pieces of paper. You'd have to have 2. That way you can know A, it's pretty even, and B, know which one you're pulling out when you pull it out.
Oh, that's true. Because you would want to read the one you wrote to them.
Yeah.
So that they could hear it from you. Yeah. I'm just thinking, what if you did that and then you realize like they didn't write anything about you?
They just wrote
sad.
Dude, what if you had a pissed off jar? That thing would fill up so fast.
Yeah. See, I think that would be that would not strengthen a bond. If every time they did something that pissed you off, you just wrote it down and put it in the jar.
I think I'd like to know. I think it would be helpful for me to know like what I'm doing that pisses them off so that I can make the conscious decision to either do it again or not.
To do it again or not. Today's the day, bitch. I'm doing it again. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well,
that was a good list.
Yeah. So look at us having a sort of scripted podcast back on the rails.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go off the rails for a minute there, but we reeled it in. You did a great job. Next time, let's read them our bucket list that we made. Well, that we got off the internet and decided that we're going to do one day together.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yes, we'll have to pull that one up. But yeah, so join us next week.
Oh.
For another episode of Take It
or Leave It, an advice-ish podcast hosted by 2 struggling moms
who have no idea what we're doing. We will see you again next week, everybody. Have a wonderful week.
We love you so much. That was so sudden. Okay, bye. So sudden.
We're done.
It was so sudden. Bye, friends.
It was sudden because I was getting ready. Are we done? I was getting